Hey, what's going on, guys? James here bringing you another YouTube video, and this one is gonna be, surprisingly, another video here on the original channel, the main channel. I know, it is absolutely shocking. It's been way too long. I get it. I'll stop with that. Anyway, so, here's the thing. For this, it's something I started over on the wrestling channel. I actually started on the gaming channel before creating the wrestling channel. And that's going to be the original universe reactions. And I figured, here I am. And I figured, so, it feels more like something that would fit on this channel than the wrestling channel. Yes, it's wrestling related, but that's mainly just for wrestling gameplay itself and stuff like that. And of course the gaming channel is for all other gameplay, but this is just for anything and everything that's not really gameplay related. And I figured, like, technically, yes, this is wrestling gameplay, but it's me reacting to what I did in the past, and I don't know, I just thought it would be really cool, and I figured it would fit better on this one, so yeah. And for this one, it is episode 3 of the series, which is the second episode of Raw. I called it Number 1 Contender. That's one thing, you know what? If there's one thing to take away from all of the years I've been doing this, I think my ability to come up with titles is probably where I stand out, honestly. Sometimes they're not all that creative, but, like, I feel like I'm pretty good with coming up with titles and having it represent the entire video. And, like, I've always managed to come up with a title. I've never just gone like, oh, here's WWE 2K16 Universe, Episode 3. Yeah, like, no, I've always got to have a title. Like, an actual title, and I like that. Okay, so already, I gotta say, for Raw and SmackDown both, I created terrible show intros. This was really bad. I did make sure to actually use songs that were copyright free. I did that, but yeah, no, the intros were terrible. I didn't fully have a grasp on editing quite yet, so there's just like super drawn out long clips. I tried to do this one I actually did get with Tyson on and figure out what he wanted, and it's funny because from what I remember, I think Tyson kind of like wanted the same kind of thing as he would end up doing later for SmackDown when we brought Co-op Universe back. And yeah, kind of like more action-packed, focus on like a few people here and there. So yeah. But let's just say this is not the new show intros. That, you know what, screw it. Link in the description to them. I don't think that they're all that fantastic, but they're good. They're fine. So yeah, anyway. Show intro, and just because of this, I'm skipping that because, oh, they were awful. I did better with SmackDown, but that's not saying much because both are really bad.
Welcome to Monday Night Raw. This is week 2 of Monday Night Raw and episode 3 of my co-op universe mode that I'm doing with my best friend Tyson. And this is his week 2 show. We are 2 weeks away from the Extreme Rules pay-per-view.
Hang on, I just gotta say again to cut it off. What in the world was I thinking? Why did I have the first 2 shows be a thing, reference that they happened, but I did not show them? I mean, they were nothing but tournaments, don't get me wrong, but like, why did I not show them? What the actual fuck? Like, what? That doesn't make sense. Show the people how you got your champions. They're your world champions, for fuck's sake. Anyway, I'll stop harassing poor little past me. Yeah, here we go.
Tyson has booked his show to look like this. The Lucha Dragons versus the League of Nations. Rookie T-Ice going one-on-one in a Falls Count Anywhere match against the WWE and United States champion Seth Rollins. The Miz versus Luke Harper. Rookie Katie going...
Tiny little small thing. I'm so glad that it wouldn't take me that long in the grand scheme of things to actually go by the full name that I had come up with for her. Like, Caitlin Rain is so much better than just saying Katie. No offense to anyone that goes by Katie, by the way. Like, it's a fine name. I'm just saying. For the purpose of this, like, I don't even know what I was thinking at the time. It's just like, bruh. Just, no. Actual names here. Anyway, so yeah.
Against Divas champion Nikki Bella. And Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns. Winner meets John Cena and Seth Rollins in the main event of Extreme.
So, of course, this card, I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. I mean, you start off with a tag team match between two teams that could, in theory, go for the tag titles that the New Day were holding, with Lucha Dragons and League of Nations, which is fine. But then, after losing to Luke Harper in the first episode, why is this rookie T.I.S. then going for Seth Rollins right away? It's like, why not get... If you're going to give that spot to anybody, why not give that shot to Luke Harper, the guy that beat T.I.S. in week 1? And, like, boom, you can either have Luke Harper look really good and lose to the WWE and US champion, or you can have him beat Seth, and you can go down from there, branch off, and figure out how you'd want him to win. And even if he wins, the only thing you have to do then right away is be like, hey, you know what? Seth was just too busy focused on the WWE title, so he's not completely focused on the US title. And instead, with the way that we did things, particularly Tyson booking it, the US title just kind of gets forgotten about. And, like, I'll put myself to blame on that one. It's not just Tyson on that one. Because I think I made the choice to start off with the default champions, which, by the way, again, like, if you're doing a unit mode, come up with your champions. Don't do the default champions in the game, please. Anything is more unique than that. Whatever. So, yeah. But yeah, like that, I don't know how I feel about that one. Instead, we got Miz and Luke Harper, and if you're going to do anything, again, like, yeah, do Luke Harper versus Seth. The tag match is fine. Then you could do maybe Miz versus the rookie T.I.S. T.I.S. lost, but can he bounce back against the Miz? Caitlin Rain and Nikki Bella is fine, though okay, on paper it's fine, but I hate this match looking back because I had full intentions of having Caitlin Rain debut, having Paige bring her in to take on the Bella Twins on SmackDown. And I did that, completely forgetting at the time that Tyson had just booked her on Raw, because I don't think we had specific women on the shows. Like, we had women that we would book, but I don't think they were specifically on shows. Like, I frequently had, like, Brie, Natalya, Paige, Alicia Fox. I'd bring in Caitlin Rain, who would then start off on SmackDown, technically starting off on Raw, then she'd show up on Raw more often. I don't know, yeah. It was weird. Really weird. Holy, how am I 10 minutes into this already? Jesus Christ. Anyway, so then that match is fine. Personally, I don't like it because, again, I had plans, but on paper, it's fine. And main event is fine. Tyson really wanted to run with Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Shield triple threat. Actually, yeah, I think he did. I think he wanted to do the Shield triple threat, which is why, by the way, I would love to get him on this reactions, but I can't ever really plan things around him right now because our schedules are completely different. But yeah, like, I think he wanted to do Shield triple threat at Extreme Rules at this point, and yeah, there's that. So, like I said, I don't know how I feel about the card overall. Like, it's fine, but there are some things that I would absolutely change. Like, I would probably have Nikki face someone else. I would probably swap Miz and T.I.S. in the matches, having Seth face Luke Harper, Miz face T.I.S. And then that's really all I would change for the most part. But yeah, here we go.
Excuse me if you heard that.
They absolutely heard it.
And, okay, so, again, Tyson's booked a pretty good show here, and, looking at the matches, I think I'm going to try and,
I think this is the first one I did 2 matches. Yep.
I'm thinking I'm gonna do 2 matches, maybe. Maybe. Okay, so I'm not gonna play this one. The Blue Dragons versus the League of Nations. Who wins? Let's find out. The Lucha Dragons beat the League of Nations.
By the way, how in the world did this not get copyright claimed? I've said it before, but like,
let's get into.
I did literally 0 audio balancing, and how have I had videos now where I actually balance the audio to not be that noticeable? How is that claimed, but like stuff like this was fine?
Between the WWE and United States champion Seth Rollins and the Rookie TIs. Seth Rollins lost to John Cena.
Bro.
And Rick Rude and
3 Days Grace Animal Like Become just playing in the background here for T-Ice's theme. Clear as day. Okay, well, okay. You know what? That clearly did get claimed because audio is, yeah. So at the very least, that got claimed. You know what I'm saying? So like at least, there's that. But like everything else, there's sure no excuse. If any of the videos were to get claimed, it should have been the early universe stuff. Because again, I did no audio balancing whatsoever. Like, what? Come on, man. That just feels wrong. It hurts my soul. Because, like, how can I properly, like, audio balance now and sometimes get claimed when it's like, you can barely hear that, but you can hear this clear as day? I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I guess try not to focus on it. But nonetheless. Oh, this is when they either took out, had very little multi-title entrances. I think they took him out if I remember. Which is crazy. Because, like, I guess before 2015, when was the last time WWE had a double champion? I guess it would have been Brock in the previous year, into the first year. Because he was holding technically both the WWE and the World Heavyweight Championships, because you're using both at the time.
Of Monday Night Raw.
And now in 2K15, yeah. The world titles were unified like that, and they brought out both.
With a spinning back.
They didn't have just the one belt yet.
And T.I.'s not letting him continue.
So I don't know. It's weird.
Pick him up off the ground. Front face lock by T.I.'s. Rollins takes him out.
And let me just say, like, again,
Rollins picks him up.
my criticism for earlier, this match on paper is fine. I have a problem with the way that we brought all the created wrestlers in right away. Like, it just didn't feel right, because we didn't build them up at all. We just kind of, like, immediately inserted them into the show, and like we didn't necessarily give them like world title shots or anything right away. We at least tried to build them up, and like the original universe obviously isn't going anymore, and none of them won a world title. In fact, did any T.I.'s would go on to win the U.S. title from Seth later on, and then Alex would be Mr. Money in the Bank. And I have my own issues with that in the match that it happened, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Off the ground again.
Alex and T.I.'s would form a team and also align themselves with Dolph Ziggler, which of course plays on Alex and Dolph, Alex debuting against Dolph. Though I didn't do anything, because when I did that, that would have been after Tyson had been removed from the series. So that would have been all me at the time, and I didn't really do anything besides say, hey, Alex debuted against this guy, let's have him team up. There was nothing else built up around that. I mean, and for that, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed that team. I thought like I would end up rolling with them pretty well.
Boot to the face.
I like that.
Enziguri.
Honestly, I don't know, like, I do like teams with Dolph Ziggler. I don't know. like, he's so good in the ring and he can absolutely hold his own solo, but I don't know, like, he just feels like a tag team guy to me, and, like, he always nails the tag team stuff so well. And don't get me wrong, like, none of this tag stuff he's done in real life or in other people's universe modes will ever come close to, like, the pop he got at the Raw after Mania 29. Like, that was insane. But, I mean, you had a world champion that no one really liked, for the most part, with Del Rio. And, yeah. Ziggler was super over at the time. He was with AJ and Big E, who Big E wasn't completely over, but people were really starting to get to know who he was. AJ, of course, is AJ Lee. So, yeah, like, he was over as hell.
Pay for that rookie mistake as he hits the Northern Light suplex on the outside.
It just made sense, you know?
Falls count anywhere. Any weapon legal. You can win anywhere in the arena.
Which, by the way, I'm pretty sure, Falcon and Arrow-wise, I'm pretty sure that Tyson actually booked it to be a Falls Count Anywhere, which is kind of crazy. Because I don't think it said Falls Count Anywhere on the menu, and it normally does. Oh, I forgot. T.I.'s had the Kevin Owens moveset, dude. I forgot about that. And it's crazy because, like, at the time, again, when the series started, we were living in completely different states. So we got on, like, a video call, and I created T.I.'s with his input through that, and he told me just use a Kevin Owens moveset, I think he said. And it's crazy because, like, he would never use Kevin Owens moveset again except for this universe mode. He would either create his moveset entirely, or he would do, like, maybe a mix of a couple of wrestlers, or I know for a while he used Edge's moveset because his favorite wrestler. For a while I think he used Victor's, which is pretty interesting, I think. And again, like, for a while he used, like, a mix of some movesets, and then, like, at this point he just creates his own moveset when he's got the time. So yeah, it's weird to think, like, he told me to go with Kevin Owens' moveset, which is fine. Kevin's got a great moveset, but he only used it for this universe mode, and that's it. And it's just kind of weird because, like, Kevin was also being used. Different shows, to be fair, different shows, and they were, like, never really used in the same way. But yeah, it's just kind of weird. And eventually, you know, obviously I changed the special moves and stuff because, like, yeah, I'm not going to use the... Well, then again, he did use the pop-up powerbomb a little bit. Yeah. But Tyson's always used a powerbomb. He's gone through different variations of a powerbomb for his T.I.'s powerbomb, but yeah. He's always used a powerbomb in some way. Let's see, he's gone through... he did a sit-out powerbomb for a while, like a Liger bomb. Well, he did just like a normal sit-out powerbomb where, like, lift him up and then drop you down. Did like a Liger bomb where it was running sit-out for a little while. He did the pop-up powerbomb for a while. And then he's finally settled on the gut-wrench powerbomb. Which is fine because, you know, like, Swaggers doesn't really do that anymore. And yeah, it works. But, oh, wow. Comebacks are... God, how long have comebacks been broken? It's so crazy to me. Oh, I forgot. I'm pretty sure he had the meat hook clothesline for a while, too. Which, by the way, he's never done a clothesline as a big move, so I don't know why we agreed to give that to him. Because neither one of us particularly liked Ryback that much either. So, like, I don't know. That was weird. By the way, I know I talked about this match zero, like, at all. Like, nothing about this match. But, it's interesting because, yeah, like, oh, what was I going to say? For some reason, in my head, I remember this match ending on the outside with him tapping out to the crossface on the floor. But apparently that didn't happen. But, like, I swear to God that happened. At some point, man, I don't know. My memory's probably just broken, honestly. Probably just broken. But, you know, oh well. It is what it is. That's fine.
2 weeks in a row, Seth Rollins has lost. That is not...
And honestly, Seth losing 2 weeks in a row, it sucks. But I can still work with that. That's fine. I wouldn't want to... if I were doing that now, I wouldn't even have T.I.'s as a created wrestler in the main event scene right away. Because I guess like he wasn't necessarily in the main event scene, but he was facing the WWE and U.S. champion Seth Rollins. And the biggest problem was like we shouldn't have gone with the same guy holding both the major and mid-card titles, you know? That just doesn't really work. Like you can make it work fine, but like it's more of a pain in the ass than anything, I think. So yeah, I don't know. Of course, Dean versus Roman. I played this match too. I do remember that because I was Dean. Because I know Tyson really wanted Dean to get the shot at Extreme Rules. And spoiler alert, he didn't get it. Is it much of a spoiler if I've already talked about it at length on the channel? I don't know. Either way. Yeah, spoiler alert, he didn't get it. Like, for whatever reason, Dean just couldn't win. Whether it be the AI, one of us, or me playing as Dean, it didn't matter. Like, just could not win with Dean Ambrose. And of course that leads me to my thing with, like, I'll get to it a little bit later, but I made a video called What Should Have Happened. Was it 2019 maybe? I did it? 2018 or 2019. Stuff like that. It was later in a year. And I like that video still, actually. I do. But the thing is, so I made that video, talked about the entire first month of Original Universe and kind of like what I would do now. And I like that video a lot because whereas with like the looking back at my Universe pay-per-views, I was so harsh on like past me and the booking that Tyson and I did and everything. I was very harsh. And like I was able to look back on it a lot better, honestly, in the What Should Have Happened video. Like I remember in the looking back at Universe pay-per-views, I said that Tyler Breeze didn't deserve to be in the Intercontinental title scene for me on SmackDown, booking things, and I looked at it, it's like, wait, no. Shit, like, wait, no. Breeze is the one guy that does deserve to go up against Ryback here at Extreme Rules. He should have won, honestly, because I had no plans for, like, any of the starting champions to remain champions, which is why, again, just doing a Universe mode, just find your own champions. Don't start with the default. Even if in the games they don't let you vacate the titles, just do it in exhibition where you can vacate the titles, or just say right away, like, come up with something, you know, like, due to their past history in wrestling or in WWE or whatever, this guy is getting the honor of wearing the belt to the ring. Let's see if he can actually become the first champion here in Universe, but he is not officially recognized. But again, he's getting the honor of wearing the belt to the ring. Something like that, you know? Something like that would work. But, you know, it's just one of those things where it's like, it just didn't make sense to me, I guess. At the time, it's like, no, I can't do that. Let's just start with the default champions. That would make sense. Like, that's easy. And yeah, sure, it's easy, but, like, it's not creative, and it just kind of sucks, because, like, I didn't... Because, like, look, I like Seth Rollins. I wanted to roll with him as champion, but... And I guess technically the world champions I did crown. I just, you know, didn't show it. Again, it goes back to me with the tournament, and I should have shown that. You know what, I do remember this match being pretty okay, though, with me against the AI. All things considered, but... so yeah, I don't know. But I want to go all the way back to my thought with the cause and titles. I don't really like the way we brought him in. Like, we relied so heavily on them right away, which can be fine, unless you're me on SmackDown and, like, you literally inject yourself into it, and that just doesn't make sense.
Okay, guys, we're back. Sorry about that.
Should have cut that out, by the way. But yeah, that just doesn't really make sense, you know? Because even if it's supposed to be me, just change the name at the very least, so it's not directly you, you know? Which obviously, we do have some plans to not bring the... I guess it is bringing the original universe back, but it's more... We're going to bring back Co-op Universe as it is now, and we are going to change some things. because Tyson and I want to do the shows differently now. Instead of having like 5 matches on every show, we're going to do 3 matches primarily, fill out the rest of the show with segments and promos and stuff like that. Maybe try to work in some kind of interviews, but that'll be tricky to do because there's no actual interview thing in the games. But yeah, just fill out the show with segments, have 3 primary matches to focus on, and then I know I want to do what I'm calling Raw Dark, which I've had the idea for so long, before like AEW came around, before other creators started doing their own dark match shows. And I talked about this way back in the Year in Review 2018. I guess link in the description too, if I remember. Yeah, like I've had an idea for a dark match show for so long, wanting to do it, and I never could make it work. And then other people kind of did the idea before I fully made it work.
Final cut, suplex neck breaker. Only a 1.
So yeah, and so I want to do Raw Dark and have the other 2 matches, or not. Let's have 2 more matches on that show, and that could be with people who aren't signed to a show. It can be so they can be free agents, or they can be free agents, or like on Raw, but they weren't booked on Raw. Stuff like that, you know, and that'll be the other 2 matches you could say I would technically book. And once we get back to doing that officially, what I want to do is I want to take the Universe Rewind show, the recap show that I had made.
Oh, Superman punch.
And I actually want to use that to bring back the original universe and have the 2 co-op universes connect together and have them just kind of flow cohesively into one another. And that's kind of what I want to do. And I've already been making plans. I'll actually show the tournaments at the start. I'm going to have the same winners, and I'm going to try and keep the booking as close as possible. But if I feel like something should have been done differently, I will change that and do it differently now. So it won't be 1-to-1 the same. But that's what I'm looking at. For the most part, I want to keep it the same. So, like, Seth Rollins will still be the first WWE champion. Daniel Bryan will still be the first World Heavyweight champion. I'll find another way to crown all the other champions first. Maybe. I might just roll with them anyway, since that's what I did at the time. And I might, like, for the US side, I might just have Seth drop it right away.
Oh, right when he gets up. Right when Reigns gets up, he gets the dirty deeds. The dirty deeds.
But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. And, by the way, I don't think I ever did the, like, I'm the one breaking up the pins myself. I think that was, in the original universe, I think it was all AI kickouts when they did happen. Hashtag Reigns is a cheesy bastard. Let's get that started. No, don't do that.
Oh, kick out it too.
The pin bar in 2K16 was so damn fast, dude. Looking back on it, it was really fast. Especially if you went to use resiliency, if just... Oh my god. I am pushing those buttons so hard.
They'll do anything to get the win. Oh, and powerbomb.
Man, I don't know how I did kickouts. Like, I really do prefer the kickouts now with the pinwheel that starts automatically. You just have to time it. Like, I don't know how I kicked out back in the day. Like, I mean, I do because that's all I knew. But yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, I don't think I could do that now, honestly. Actually, I'm pretty sure I know I can't do that now because 2K15 uses very similar to this on, I guess, technically it's past gen now, like PS4, Xbox One. And I can't kick out of that game for shit. I genuinely can't. So then there's that, and I've gone back to the past as like, I'm not really good with kickouts. I'm okay in like SVR 10 and 11, but you only really get one shot at kicking out in those games. because the bar moves up so slow.
Those elbows.
So yeah, but there's that. And I did want to go back to the whole bringing calls thing, since I keep interrupting myself on that. Yeah, like T.I.'s would go on to win the U.S. title. Alex would win the tag titles with Dolph Ziggler, and the Dangerous Alliance would kind of Freebird rule it, because the Freebird rule is great, honestly. And that's how the match ends. I remember that, because I could not reverse the Superman punch. I just couldn't. Yeah. I know Adam Daniels would win the Intercontinental. I would win the TV, but that was like, you know, it was the TV title. It didn't mean a whole lot. I tried to make it mean something, but like, I just... I botched the TV title scene so hard in the original universe. And it started off so well, because like Curtis Axel beat Chris Jericho to become the first TV champion. And then he immediately loses it a day later to Fandango. He wins it back like 3 weeks later from Fandango at Money in the Bank, just to lose it back a month later to me, and then a month later I lose it to Daniels, and the loser leaves WWE match. Which, by the way, that whole loser leaves WWE thing, oh my god. When I get to that later on, that's another one that I screwed the pooch on, let me just say that. Like, that's what I got a problem with, because like, I was not well equipped at the time to handle that. To handle a story that I tried to make that personal. And like, mainly because I didn't really do anything to build it up. It's like, I said that my character had a problem with Daniels now because Daniels cheated to beat the Usos at Money in the Bank. But then like, they didn't really do anything. They kind of just slowly stopped competing. Like, and I didn't build it at all. I didn't have like me or Daniels walk out on the other or anything like that. I didn't have the team actually have dissension and break up, and they feud from there.
Until next time, guys, I will see you later. Bye, guys.
And that is the end. That's crazy. Yeah, the show was fine, I think. Overall, I think Dean and Roman, honestly, was a pretty good match. I'll watch it back after this recording at some point and see how good I think it stands up now. Because if it does, I might actually put it in the Tournament at the Clock like I did the Tournament Tuesdays match from the first tournament between Styles and Edge. Because that match, I don't know, like, I remember this one being pretty good. But yeah, that's kind of all I have to say. The card is fine. I have some issues with it overall. Again, I would have Nikki face someone else. I would have Miz, and I'd have Seth face Luke Harper since Luke won. And then I'd have T.I.'s face Miz, if anything. And then everything else I'll say, I think, is going to come up in later episodes. So until then, I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.